We are two guys in a game shop. My name's Phil.
My name's John.
And we're at the White Knight in Helena, Montana. We're going to be talking about various games that we have a strong interest in. And we're going to start off with Suburbia.
Well, Suburbia is a tile placement game. The idea of the entire game is to put down tiles so you can build a city, and you're competing against other players to make the best city and attract the most people to your city.
And we're going to go over a brief overview of the game and then basically tell everybody what we like about this game. This is Suburbia as it's all set up. What you have here is you have your borough board and your initial setup of tiles. You have your reputation marker and your income marker, your starting investment tokens, your starting money, $15 million, and you also have a nice player aid which gives you the sequence of events that you take in a turn.
Also up here you have your supply board. This will have your money on it. Over here is the stacks board where you'll have the A, B, and C tiles. And this final one is the real estate market. And in this you're going to have the real estate tiles that are available for purchase here. And then also up here you'll have the tiles that anyone can purchase during their turn also. As well as down at the bottom here there is goals, the shared goals for everyone who plays.
And here in the center you have the population board. Everybody starts at 2 population, and as you progress along the population track you'll pass these red markers which adjust your income and reputation of your town. This is your victory points for determining the winner of the game. On your turn, what you must do first is basically choose to purchase one of the tiles available here or one of the tiles on the real estate board, either the community park, the suburbs, or the heavy factory, and place it into your suburb. As an example, if I was to buy this fancy restaurant, it would cost $9 out of my 15 that I have. Because I'm buying it from this section, it doesn't add any cost. If I chose instead to buy this mobile home community, it would cost $4, but because of its location, I would add 8, so it cost me 12 total to buy this. In this case, what I'm going to do is buy this parking lot for 12. So I will pay my 15, have only 2 left, and place my parking lot into my suburb. When you place a token into your suburb, you must first resolve the upper right indicator. In this case, it's a +1 income. So I move my income up 1. Then I resolve what's listed at the bottom of the tile that I just placed. It says +1 income for each adjacent civic or commercial. This is a civic, it's gray, so I would gain 1 more income. After that, you look at any adjacent tiles to see if any of them give you a bonus. In this case, the community park says +1 reputation for each adjacent industry, residential, or commercial. Since this is commercial, I would gain 1 reputation. Alternatively, instead of buying a piece, I could buy an investment marker and place it on one of my existing tiles. The cost to buy an investment marker is equal to the cost of the tile that you have in your town. After you have bought the tile and placed it, and resolved this tile and the adjacent ones, you then look at any other tiles in your town that might have an effect on this, and then everybody else looks at any tiles in their towns that might have an effect on this. Some tiles do, most tiles don't. After you've done all that, you then collect your money in step 2. Your money that you collect is equal to the current location of your income. In this case, I have an income of 2, so I collect $2 million, leaving me with $4 million.
After your income step comes your adjusting your population, and for that you're going to look at what your reputation is set at. My reputation is set at 1, so I get to move my population up 1 person. For instance, if I was at 4, I would then move up 2. I would move up 4, I would count out 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and have 4. After that is all taken care of, you add a new tile to the real estate. So you'll take, if one's taken out of here, you will move these down to fill any gaps. And the new tile will come from, if you have any A's left, you'll pull from A, B if you have B's left, and then on to C after that. Pulling the new tile, showing your face up, and putting it over here, it'll be now in the +10 slot. This is going to continue throughout the entire game until you hit in the C's. Somewhere hidden inside the C's is the one more round tile, and what that will mean is starting with the first player, we'll have one more round to play, and after that scoring will begin.
At the end of the game, you have final scoring. When you do final scoring, you look at these community goals that are available here. There's 2 for 2 players, 3 for 3, and 4 of them are available when you're playing with 4 players. So you reference each and see who has achieved these goals. In this case, for the capitalist, it says the fewest residentials, or greens. I have 3 residentials in my town.
And I have 4.
So I have the fewest, and I would score 20 population in this. When I'm scoring the 20 population, I ignore the red lines in terms of penalties. So I would simply move my tile up 20 spaces. Then we go to the next one. In this case, it says civil engineer, the most civics. I have 3 civics in my suburb.
And I also have 3.
So since we both tied in this, nobody gets extra population for the civil engineer. That remains on here. Nobody changes their population marker.
After we finish with that, we'll now do our secret goals. At the beginning of the game, we're each given a secret goal which we can try to achieve, and we'll see if we achieved it. For mine, I have lowest money, so I have 2 money.
And I have 5 income.
So in that case, I'm going to score that with a +15. Once again, the reds have no effect at this point in the game. And then for your secret goal?
My secret goal was most briefcases. In my town, I don't have any briefcases, so I don't get the points for this one.
Then finally, at the end, we now count up how much money we have, and for every 5 money we have, we get to score 1 more population. So I would score 6 population now.
And I would score 2 + 3 + 1 for a total of 6.
And that concludes the scoring. So in this case, the blue player would win the game.
I really like what Suburbia offers. Basically, I feel that this game immerses you into building your town. You get to choose to buy residential areas, commercial areas, industrial areas, and civic areas in hopes of gaining the most population. And it feels a lot like playing that SimCity game that was on the computer quite a number of years ago. It's got that accomplishment that you're building a neat city when you're playing the game.
And I feel exactly the same way about that. When you brought that up to me, I agreed completely that it was like playing the old SimCity game. And also about it, that the huge variety of tiles you have in there really add a lot to make a really different game every time. There's a lot of value to have just with the core set, but on the nice side they also have expansions for it as well. The other part that's really cool is how you have to balance between your reputation and your income. And if you focus only on one or the other one, it usually isn't very conducive to winning the game. And even finding that balance, even after you've played a number of times, becomes difficult each time you play, because you're going to have different random tiles that you're going to use every time also.
Yeah, and you can get into negative income and negative reputation in this. In fact, the last game we played, you were very close to deficit spending, and that starts affecting your population.
Because you'll get to lose people actually for going into the negatives, which I love that aspect of the game actually, because one of my complaints was going to be that you don't have a penalty for going in the negatives. And he's like, oh yes you do. And so I was like, I even loved it better knowing that I was that close to starting to lose my population.
Yeah, and these expansions, they actually add quite a bit to the game. This Suburbia Inc. adds more tiles and border tiles.
Suburbia Inc. I actually played for the first time recently with Phil. Adding those border tiles just add a whole other aspect of the game. And the expansion also included a bunch of regular tiles to add to the game, adding even more variety now when you shuffle them in with all the other ones. It added a lot to the game that really seemed to amp it up even more. But honestly, before that, I played with the base game, and I already loved the game just playing with that.
And I hear that in the Suburbia 5-star, it adds even more tiles and also adds the possibility of a 5th player. Normally you only have 4, but with Suburbia 5-star, you can add a 5th player in there, so you can have even more people playing in the game. So overall, I consider this a very good game with a lot of replayability in it.
And I agree totally with that statement. This game really has a really fun aspect to it. It's really light on the rules, so it's easy to teach people. Also, a good one to also play with your spouse. So,
yep.
Good game all around for that reason.
Yep, good with 2 people or all the way up to 4 people. I don't have any problems with scalability in the goals or the tiles. It actually adjusts the number of tiles depending on the number of players. So it has quite a wide selection of the tiles and the replayability and just the enjoyment of the game overall.
Totally agree.